I'm Mike Cronin.
I'm Anthony Lataraka.
And today we're going to be taking a closer look at the new Apple Watch. Okay, so here we are up close and personal with the Apple Watch smartwatch. This is brand new. I've had it for just about a week approximately now. And so here's what the clock face looks like. This is the particular watch face that I have on. Before we actually get into feature overview and stuff like that, simply going to show you how to put it on. So I'm just going to loosen it up here. This is the 42mm size with Milne's loop. It's the stainless steel option. So it is the more expensive option, and I mainly got that from a fashion standpoint. I wanted it to look really nice. I never really appreciated or liked how the sport model looked. However, for review purposes, I did pick up the sport, and when putting the two on, it's clear that I like the stainless steel one much more. And I'm liking the band so far. Like I said, it's really easy. It adjusts through a magnet, a really high-powered magnet here, so you kind of have infinitive options for fitting the watch on your wrist itself, which is really nice. So taking a closer look at the watch face, you can see I have a bunch of information here, like the weather, the current temperature outside locally, the time, the date, the current time over on the West Coast, which I like to know, my activity monitor, which we'll get to a little later, and then battery percentage all the way on the right. Now, this is the modular clock face, but there's a whole ton of options for a ton of watch faces, and I could simply change it by force touching the screen. That's basically by holding it down really hard, which is a new technology Apple's invented to actually use the screen, and I can pick through a bunch of different watch faces. There's a whole ton of options. Personally, I don't prefer any type of analog clock, and I also don't prefer digital clocks that provide no information like these astronomy and motion ones. At the end of the day, I'd love to prefer the modular one because that one provides the most information. And I can also tap customize, and I can adjust this to any way to my liking to display a whole ton of different information that caters to me. However, I like the way it's currently set up now because that's the information that most meets my needs. I could also change the color to anything I want as well, which is nice. But we're going to stick with this for now, like I said, because this is the watch face that I favor. Now, what's really cool is from not the digital crown here that you use to scroll up and down, but from the side button, you can actually access a whole ton of your contacts and contact them really easily. So here, my brother Chris, I could just tap his icon. This is all your friends that wheel back there, and you could scroll through. So this is Chris right here. I could phone call him from my watch. I could message him from my watch. I could also send him a digital touch, which is really cool, the Apple Watch. I can send like a quick sketch, a smiley face, and it'll take a second or two, but it'll kind of whiz into the air, which is really cool. I could also send a couple taps, just like that, and then with two fingers, and this only works sometimes, I can just hold down and send my heartbeat, and you can kind of see. And since it's a fitness device, it actually does monitor your heart rate, and so by doing this, it's taking my pulse and sending it to my brother. All like that. Very cool. Now, by double tapping the button on the side, I can also reveal Apple Pay, and I can pay with things for my watch just like I would with my iPhone. Right here, I'm just blocking out the last four of my card number, but it works very simply and fastly. I haven't personally tried it out yet, but I hear it's working very well. Now, from the clock face, when you actually touch the digital crown, you press it in, you'll notice that you go to a home screen very similar of that to your iPhone's home screen. Now, of course, right off the bat, you need iPhone to make Apple Watch work, and since this uses so many features from the iPhone, that's why it's necessary. The Apple Watch doesn't run itself off of any cellular connection itself. It actually is all running through your iPhone, whether you're on Wi-Fi or cellular connection, and the Apple Watch limits itself if it's not connected to iPhone. There's really not much you can do with it, but it is still usable. But so we have a ton of apps here. I'm not going to get into all of them because they're just, there's too much. But some simple ones, for example, a big one is a phone, of course. You go into phone, and what's really cool about this is it's kind of like the whole Dick Tracy thing. That's what everybody relates to. You could just simply call people very easily and quickly and talk into your wrist. There's a speaker and microphone on the side. You can take calls, place calls, transfer them to your iPhone, and so on and so forth. And it's a really cool feature. I do like it a lot. It's probably my most favorite so far. Of course, you have the Mail app too, which is really nice to have. I could read emails right off of here, and then by force touching the screen, I can choose exactly what I want to do with them. So for example, I want to trash this one, and just like that, it's trashed, and it just works simply like that. And it'll take care of it from your phone as well. So everything is synced up together, and so you don't have to worry about going into multiple devices to actually delete and change emails, which is really nice. And besides scrolling up and down with your actual finger, you can actually just use the digital crown yourself to scroll through, which is a lot easier, especially if you have big fingers. You can check the weather, which is a fantastic aspect, locally or whatever town you'd like. So here I have it for Woodridge, of course. It's 55 degrees right now. It'll show me a 10-day forecast as well, which I could scroll through here with the digital crown provided by the Weather Channel. This is really nice to have. Quickly check the weather from your wrist. Using the GPS off of your iPhone, you can also use maps and track your exact location and also get directions, whether you're walking, driving, running, whatever the case may be. This is probably one of the most acclaimed and most popular features of the Apple Watch. However, I really haven't had the chance to use it yet. Personally, I love using my iPhone as a GPS, and I think I'd stick with the iPhone. I think this is still a little sluggish and slow, and I'm just not 100% used to it yet. I have tried it once or twice, and I've just found myself going to the iPhone is much, much easier. Now, another really cool app is Messages, and so I could simply go into Messages. I don't have any conversations here right now, but if I force touch the display and tap New Message, I can pick a contact and create a message very simply with my voice or using custom replies. And I can also use the custom emoji that Apple now includes with the watch. And this will also show up on the phones, so you don't have to worry. You don't just have to send this to Apple Watch users. It will work on any iPhone or iPad or whatever the case may be. They're just simple animated GIF icons. Now I can also use dictation to actually send text messages. Hey, how's it going? I could simply tap done there, and as you can see, it picks up very well on what I'm saying. Now you can either dictate the actual message, or you can use a voice message and send your actual voice as you're talking, especially if you don't think the watch is going to comprehend exactly what you're saying. But at the end of the day, I just prefer to have quick dictation translate right to text, which is an option that you can configure in the Apple Watch app on the iPhone. It's pretty cool so far. What else can I... Now, another big thing about the Apple Watch is third-party apps. Now, I'm kind of on the fence with this stuff. Like, for example, the Twitter app is really nice so far. I don't particularly use Twitter on my iPhone. I prefer a different client known as Tweetbot. They haven't added compatibility for the Apple Watch yet, so I'm stuck using the standard Twitter client, and I have to have it downloaded on my phone, which sucks. But the concept of the Twitter app on the Apple Watch is actually really cool. I can scroll through my timeline right through my wrist. Just feel like it's kind of lacking. Like, I'd like to see the icons of the people that tweet, like their actual avies, versus just having textual information. But I guess it's not that huge of a deal. You know, it's something that in time we'll see. Also, there's an Instagram app, Shazam. I also have a little calculator app in here called CalcBot. I can simply calculate equations real quick. So I can say like 8, and then force touch times 3. We obviously know is going to be 24, but it works as simple as that. I don't know why Apple didn't integrate this into the Apple Watch. This is something you have to download separately. Shazam, like I said, Skype. I have some flight applications in here. Since I am a frequent traveler, I need those to check in and stuff. But yeah, so I just feel like with the apps, I feel like developers had 7 months ever since Apple announced the watch to take advantage of the APIs and really develop some cool stuff. And don't get me wrong here, they did do a decent job on the apps, but I feel like it's still lagging a lot, and there's a lot of room for third parties to improve. Like I said, of course, this is, you know, a first generation smartwatch, so that'll all happen in time, but they definitely have a lot more time than usual with product releases to develop stuff, and they just really didn't take advantage of that. Kind of disappointed me. Now, one big aspect of the Apple Watch, of course, is tracking health and fitness. So there's this little activity app here. I can actually track throughout the day how many calories I've burned, how many minutes I've exercised, and how many minutes I've stood up, which actually translate to to every hour for every minute that you stand up. So this is really nice to track. You can also, of course, by force touching, changing the amount of goals. However, this is my current average since I'm in school most of the weekdays, so I don't really have the chance to exercise that much. But it's nice that it does calculate it, and everything goes back to your iPhone, which is really cool. There's also a workout app that they include, and you can input specific workouts, and the Apple Watch will try its best to track exactly how you're working out and how you're doing through your workouts. So like outdoor walks, outdoor cycles, runs, rower, stair stepper, and other stuff like that. So there's a lot here that you have options with to track your health and fitness. So there you guys go. That is a first look and quick glimpse at the Apple Watch. Again, there are so many more features and stuff that I just really don't have time to cover in this video because we could be here all day. But you could go ahead and pre-order the Apple Watch right now from apple.com. Looks like units are in back order right now until June. Luckily, I was able to get mine last Friday on release day, but it's definitely something you want to check out and pre-order. If I were you, I'd go with maybe the less expensive sport model. Like I said, I got the stainless steel from a fashion standpoint, of course, but no matter what model you get, watchOS is going to be identical. You're going to have the same exact features across all the watches, so that's not really going to be a concern for you. Just go with the least expensive model. Again, it's a first generation smartwatch. It's not something you want to invest hugely into. But there you you guys go. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.